You're listening to the Blue 82 podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 podcast. I am your host, Craig, with my co-host, Nicholas. And this will be episode 5 of the 2023 NFL season. But we're putting it in the category of 2023 season, Nick. Come on now. You're right. Episode 5. We missed last week's episode. Your boy did not have a voice, so I was not able to get on here and record, but all good. We're back. We got a little interesting podcast, Nick. I feel like we're going to talk about some good things. We're going to talk about some quarterbacks. We had some big news today that we'll get into later in just a little bit. But, dude, it was itching so bad. Oh, dude. Oh, that's funny you heard that. Yeah, my ear was itching, my bad. Oh, goodness, that's funny as hell. All right, so, Nick, I think it's going to be a good one. I like it. I like talking about this stuff. You got anything you want to mention or talk about before we just dive right into it? Okay. Real quick, too, we got 10 days before the NFL draft. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the episode. But it's exciting time as a football fan. It's starting to get back to that point to where we kind of had these like lull months for a little bit where not a whole lot was going on. We had free agency, but we're starting to get back into that area of where it's like, okay, football's coming back. It's almost here. But to lay it on me. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny is I'm not even fucking worried about the Astros. They got the best roster in the AL, and I don't know if you can sit there and debate that one. Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Like, so being an Astros fan or being a Houston fan in general, right? Like, we don't have a whole lot of teams to get excited for. The past like 4 or 5 years, we've been excited about the Astros because they have been doing well, right? They won the 2 World Series. So it's funny to hear somebody that's not like a Houston fan compare the Astros right now to like the Patriots. I think it's awesome to hear something like that because they have turned into this team to where it's like every year they're getting picked to make it to the World Series, to make it deep. You know what I mean? Like, and what's even crazier about it is, and I don't know, this isn't a baseball podcast, but we're sports fans at heart. A lot of... Go ahead. No, I know. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, I know they're not. You're not calling them a dynasty like that. No, I know. But it's just crazy to me because, and some people might know this. I'm sure a lot of people do. It's been talked about a bit, but a lot of our players, Nick, are homegrown. Like, the Astros don't be signing a whole lot of players and making a whole lot of moves. Like, a lot of our players we have are from the system. Like, we drafted them. They've been there the whole time. So it's just crazy to see that it's finally gotten to this point because we had a couple years where we were, like, so terrible, and now it's finally paying off. Yeah. 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 uh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I I tell yeah, I tell you what, like the Blue Jays got a nice little roster, man. Like I don't want the MLB to like sleep on that team because they're good. 100%. They also got a couple of veterans that have been there before, so they know how to handle the situation. You know what I mean? Like George Springer. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that guy. I will say I believe it because that dude used to lead off home runs. Is he still leading off for y'all? Yeah, that's awesome. He's such a good leadoff hitter. Like he's an unorthodox leadoff hitter, 100%. But something about it works because he's a great leadoff hitter. Yeah. Uh, what's funny is I don't know if you saw, but Jordan was like the first person in Astros history to reach 400 hits in like less than a certain amount of games. Like he had some crazy statistic. That dude's a stud too. Um, before we get back into this, I just want to say about the Astros again. Like I just hope we get one more ring before it's all said and done, right? Like because it's gonna come to an end at some point. But I just hope we can squeeze out one more ring. Like I know I'm being a little greedy to try to say three, but 4 or 5 years. Yeah, yeah. And we honestly, Nick, we should have won two more because we were in the World Series for two other ones. Um, yeah. All right, back to the football regular scheduled program. um, all right, so let's start off, Nick, with we had a signing, Odell Beckham, probably one of the bigger fish left, or the biggest fish left. Okay. Um, right there. 4 months ago, Nick. 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Here we are. Which is it's so crazy because this was such like a to me a weird signing. I didn't expect him to end up with the Ravens, but I kind of like it because they Ravens need wide receiver help, and if this is a good spot for him to potentially revitalize his career. Like I know he's 30 years old, so he doesn't have a whole lot left like in wide receiver age. Go ahead. I think Odell coming here has a lot to do with Lamar being here. So I feel like it's hard to say in these situations because of the whole Lamar thing is its own story in itself. But I feel like if somebody like Odell signed here, he's not gonna sign here if he's got some fucking Joe Schmo as a quarterback. I'm sorry, but that's just not gonna happen. Like I feel like he signed here because he knows one way or another Lamar is gonna be the quarterback, which is kind of what we've all been saying, or at least me have been saying from the get go. Like yes, there's gonna be this roundabout thing, but I feel like Lamar's still gonna be a Raven. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Rings, yeah. He probably would have been Super Bowl MVP, but yeah, his ACL. Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where, yeah, I think it's one of those things where Lamar bet on himself. It didn't necessarily work out because he got injured again for the second consecutive year, right? Which sucks, but it is what it is. And then he thought, okay, well, maybe if I can talk the Ravens into giving me this non-exclusive tag, granted, it may not have worked out that way, but I'm just spitballing here. Um, give me this non-exclusive tag, then I'll draw some interest from other teams, and I can either go there or I can get the Ravens to pay me what I want. And unfortunately, all these other teams have the same concerns that the Ravens had, so he's not drawing this market that he was hoping for, and I think it's kind of bit him in the ass. And at this point, he needs to just take the best offer on the table and move on, or just sign and play 1 year and then hit free agency the next year. Like it, to me, that's your only two options. You know what I mean? So either way, in that scenario, he ends up as a Raven, right? Like either you sign the deal, the tag, and get 30 million this year guaranteed. You play the year, bet on yourself again, and then you maybe hit free agency next year, and then you got a market or whatever, or you just take the deal with the Ravens and smooth things over. Yeah, yeah. I yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know me. You know me. I'm a Lamar fan through and through. Like I like Lamar. But the last 2 years of him missing the 6 games each year or whatever number it was, I think ultimately it has completely hurt his MVP stock that he had. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, you were an MVP, you played great, and we've seen moments of that for a few games, and then you don't do nothing and or you get hurt. So it's like, how can we give you this big deal that you're wanting when we're seeing that? Like again, I know it's a whole underlying thing as well, because I feel like the reason he gets hurt and the reason he is where he's at right now is ultimately because the Ravens. I think it's their fault. I think it's partially his fault, but I think a lot of it goes down to how they play him and use him. And I think it sucks for a guy like Lamar, which also sucks because you would think if a team wants to use somebody like that, they're going to pay him what he's worth because they know that they're using him like that, instead of paying him lesser because he's gotten injured. But it's like, you're the reason he's gotten injured in a sense. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's this big back and forth circle that I think is just shitty altogether. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Every game. Nick. Nick, it's like every third down, it's a every like 3rd and 5, they run the ball. Yeah. They do that on every third down, I swear to God. Like 90% of the Ravens games that I watch, if it's third and less than 4 or 5, they have some sort of designed run for Lamar. Granted, it could turn into a pass, but from the get go, it's a designed run. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah. 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 Yep. It was so early. Yeah. 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 It's again. Yeah, because it's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's just as much blame to go to Lamar, but like the amount of design runs. Yeah. Yeah. I think these teams just it's almost like they say, "Oh my God, we got a running quarterback," and their eyes get real wide, like deer in headlights, and they're like, "We've got to run them at all fucking moments." Yeah, like it. Yeah, and and I think it's just shitty that the Ravens want to utilize him that way, and then turn around when it comes contract time and throw it in Lamar's face that hey, we're not going to give you what you want because you've been injured the last 2 years. But it's like motherfucker, I'm injured because of y'all. Like it's just shitty, man. I've said it before, and I'll stand by that. Like I said, Lamar just deserves just as much blame because he does tend to extend plays when he doesn't have to. But at the same time, you can make the argument that the reason he's got to extend plays is because they haven't got him no great wide receiver talent. Like I know they've drafted a bunch of wide receivers, but they've drafted guys in like the second, the third round. They've drafted I think one first round wide receiver since Marquise Brown, and it was Rashad Bateman, and he's been injured all to hell. So it's like, what do you kind of expect from the guy? You know what I mean? It's just shitty, man. I think at the end of the day, Lamar's a great quarterback. I think he gets used in the wrong way, and I think it's gonna hurt his legacy essentially, which sucks to see because I feel like he could have changed the narrative for this whole running quarterback thing, right? Like I don't know. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. Um. No, not at all. Moving on, real quick, just the Odell. I know we kind of got sidetracked on the Odell thing, but it worked out because we were going to talk about that either way. It just happened we did it now. But Odell signed a 1 year deal, $15 million with the Ravens, signing bonus of 13 mil. So his salary's what 3 mil for the year. Cap hit, yeah, 4 mil. So I think it's a good contract for both sides. Odell gets some money and not a big cap hit. You know what I mean? And it's almost like a yeah. No, last year before he does yeah yeah no 100%. This is his last year to actually prove something. Hopefully he comes back and he's healthier and we get a little dose of what we saw before from Odell. Just because he's a gamer. You love watching him. Oh my god, I hate that dude. That's so annoying. Um, moving on, I guess we'll just speak on the Lamar thing real quick, and then we'll get to the other quarterback contract, just because we're still kind of on the Lamar thing. Um, what did you want to talk about here? The fact that he was offered. Okay. Right. It's only because Watson got it, and we've talked about it. Yeah. 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 And they're gonna be fucked for it. I think he was worth a 200. I think he was worth a $230 million deal. I don't. No, he's not worth the fully guaranteed. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, yeah. Well, even then, nobody's worth the fully guaranteed money. Like the only person you can make an argument for is Brady and Mahomes. Yeah, like, but other than that, nobody's worth that shit, dude. Like, that is the stupidest thing ever. And it's literally ruined the ideas that quarterbacks have in their mind for contracts because of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's ruined the market. Yeah, that's a one-off. Yeah, no, 100%. Um, I, I know here it says 250 million with 133 million guaranteed, but I saw something Ian Rappaport was talking about. Apparently, it was 200 guaranteed at the end of the day. Like after it was all said and done, it was 200 million guaranteed, and he still didn't want it. Maybe. I mean, that's a great fucking deal. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't at all. Yeah, that's really what I. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. Like I know I mentioned it earlier, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We're getting to that point in the year where something's got to get done. Um, no, I agree. Real quick, I real quick, it's just because ADHD kicked in. I saw this title and I'm like, what? I gotta read this. Um, who said he's leaving? There were league rumors about him leaving after the draft and possibly returning to the New England Patriots. If there were rumors for that happening, why would the owner let this man draft a team if he's potentially leaving? Like that makes no fucking sense. The dude literally runs an org. It has, but like in my mind, I'm thinking the dude runs an organization essentially. Like, why would he want to leave to go somewhere else? Is he going to be the GM for the Patriots? I don't know. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know. It just seems like a conflict of just seems like a conflict of interest though. Like if yeah. But my thing is what would he do if he went to the Patriots? If he would be a GM, I would understand potentially leaving. But like, that's a weird article. I don't know. Yeah, Bill needs to get off the fucking yeah. Awful. Okay, so moving on to I guess the big news of today. My boy Jalen Hurts, Houston boy, signed a contract extension, 5-year deal, $255 million, 179 total guaranteed. So, before we like break down this contract and talk about it too much, what are your initial thoughts on this contract, Nick? Yeah. So they had to sign him this year, essentially. Yeah. 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 And they got one more year. He's gonna have. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you say you could almost make the argument that this contract is insane, and I'm surprised you didn't because, like, and I know I'm a Jalen Hurts fan, but I'm not biased in the sense of the guy only had 1 year. Like, I know before last year, the year before that, like, he still took him to the playoffs and he was showing signs of like progressing, but he still didn't look good. You know what I mean? And then this year he put it all together. So it's like, in a sense, this contract is kind of insane too. You know what I mean? Like, they got smoked by the Tom Brady Bucks. Yes, destroyed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. I no for sure. Yup. Yup. Which is kind of what worries me here. Yeah, that's why you're putting the two. But I think it's gonna work out. He deserves this contract. I hope it works out. Um, I think he's gonna be a good quarterback at the end of the day. Oh, without a doubt, they're gonna get probably way more. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Just real quick, the one thing I do want to say about this contract, I know you look at it and like here it says 51 mil average salary, um, which is true in terms of 5 year 255 if you do the division or whatever. But this contract is actually team friendly in the sense of a quarterback contract, right? Like his cap hit this year is 6 mil, the next year it's 13 mil, year after it's 21, and the year after that is 31. There's teams out there where their quarterback's cap hit is $50 million. So it's like this is a good deal for team and quarterback, I feel like. So I mean, that's why I think this is a good signing because you worked out a deal to where he's still getting 200 guaranteed, and which is good for somebody that runs a good amount, right? Like, he's still getting a big year leap. You know what I mean? 5 years, 255. Like that is a solid number. It puts him. There's been reports saying the highest contract out there. I think it's if you take out Mahomes, I think it's the second highest with Allen. Um, but and then I mentioned this to Nick earlier. He's only 24 years old. He'll be 25 at the start of the new season. Um, so after this contract's said and done, he's going to be 30 years old, 30, 31, and could potentially get another re-up if he continues to play at the level he's playing at. You know what I mean? Which is a tall task, but he still could double dip and get another good-sized contract as well. So I like the signing. Y'all know how I feel about Hurts. That's what Adam Schefter tweeted. It 31.77 million is what it is. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it pulled up now. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so I don't know where they're getting this report from, the highest NFL player. Like, are we talking... I think it's the website shitting the bed. Yeah, it's not loading. There it goes. These numbers are crazy, Nick. Yeah. Yeah. Unless he's just completely balling out. You know what I mean? Which I think is unlikely. I don't know. I don't know, Nick. Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely nuts. So, where are we thinking Burrow and Herbert would fall on this list? Because I got the list pulled up. We think they go below Mahomes. You think it's Burrow? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised either. I think Burrow definitely will because they love him. He loves being there. I don't know a whole lot about like the relationship in Los Angeles for Herbert. I don't know if he would want to stay there. True. If I'm him, I wouldn't even want to sign a contract. I would want to get the fuck out of there because I don't think the Chargers know how to deal with a good quarterback because as athletically talented as the kid is, I don't think they're utilizing him in the correct way. They should be winning way more games. That's a whole nother can of worms. But Keenan Allen, some good tight ends too. Yeah, yeah. Um, and J.C. Jackson and fucking Derwin James. Like you got some studs on that team, and it's crazy that it's not working out. Okay, so we broke down the Jalen Hurts contract. Anything else we wanted to talk about as far as like quarterback market? I know you wanted to step on this subject. I don't know if we already hit on it. Yep. Okay. And then at 7, it goes from 160 to 230s. So there's big jumps. Which real quick, those big jumps make sense, Nick, because we did a quarterback tier list, and it's like we had big jumps in ourselves. So like, if you make this comparison, it's like it makes sense that there's jumps like that. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Carry on. Clearly, yes. I I think for what he does, he's getting paid for what he's worth. You know what I mean? Like he deserves to be there because he is Superman. Again, it hurts him just as much as it helps him. But yes, carry it in next. Yeah, I think so. I'll take him over all these quarterbacks, Nick. I'll tell you that. Yeah, yeah. He needs to be at 22. I don't like. Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. Look terrible. Yeah. We start to get into the average quarterbacks now. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yep. Kind of the placeholders until you can figure out who you want. Yeah. It's, yeah. God. They're paying him 35 mil and they're about to get Aaron Rodgers. Like, Jesus Christ. I think the problem is, Nick, that it's not so much that they're scared that he's going to retire after 1 year. Yeah. It's not so much that they're scared he's going to retire after one season. It's the fact that they don't want to give up a first round draft pick if he is going to retire after one season, right? Which I think is a fair like doubt, right? Like you don't want to give up somebody that you could have for a whole career just for a guy for 1 year. Like I would be okay if I could get a guarantee from Rodgers that hey, I'm going to play 2 or 3 more years. I would maybe be okay giving him a first. I personally wouldn't because I'm not a fan of Rodgers, but yeah, no, I know you're not. No, I know you're not. But I think it's also it sucks too because the Packers are just trying to get the most value that they can because they know that Rodgers wants to go to the Jets, so they feel like they have the upper hand. And yeah, yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like they both have leverage. So they're both just sitting at a standstill, and that's why we haven't seen nothing yet because they're both trying to get the best situation. And it's like at some point y'all are just gonna have to fucking compromise. Like at this rate, just 2 seconds for Aaron Rodgers. Fuck it, whatever. Like move on. Well, I tell you what, the latest reports I've seen is something should happen by draft night, and we're counting down 10 fucking days till draft night. So if doesn't something doesn't happen by draft night, I could care. I mean, I don't care now. I'm tired of hearing about fucking Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson at this point, dude. Like, it feels like a repeat all over again of the Deshaun Watson thing of waking up every morning and hearing something new about it, and you don't know if it's true or if it's fake or what it is, and then nothing happens until 2 years later, and you're like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's getting old to this point, and I could care less. Like, it's annoying. All right. Anything else with the quarterback market, or are we done with this? Okay. All right. So moving on, we broke down the quarterback market. Talked about Odell signing, um, Joe Burrow. Yep. Um, so I would if I was him, bro. Like I just don't trust that. We talk about the Browns being a shitty organization. I think the fucking Chargers are a bad organization, and it's not talked about enough. Um, yeah. Don't put it together. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so now I think we're gonna do. We're 40 minutes in, so we can kind of take our time with this mock draft if we want. Um, yeah. Okay, so are we wanting to do 2 rounds, 1 round? What are we thinking here? 1 round, okay. 1 round. No, I don't know. Yeah, uh, yeah. I know a good amount, but yeah, not enough to go that fucking deep. We'll just stick to the first round. Alrighty, so are we gonna do trades in this mock draft? Yes or no? Probably not, right? Okay. Um, let's see what happens. No, no, no. It's so hard to try to do in a mock draft. That's why I normally just stay away from it. But all right, so moving on, we've got pick one, Panthers on the clock. I've heard some reports, Nick, There for a while, it was C.J. Stroud's going to be the guy. Now I'm hearing that. I'm hearing, and you know what's funny? We did Bryce Young in our first mock draft, I think, right? I don't remember for sure, but yeah, I think a lot of teams met with CJ or whatever, and for whatever reason, I guess they like Bryce Young more now, which I think makes sense. The what? Oh, that's funny. You couldn't do it. Yeah, I think Bryce. Unfortunately, because I prefer Bryce over CJ as a Texans fan. Unfortunately, I think Bryce Young is going to get drafted first overall, and I think that's really going to put a wrinkle in what the Texans wanted to do, Nick. And I'm starting to get the vibe that the Texans are not going to take a quarterback. I don't think they are. As annoying as it sounds, Nick, I think they liked Bryce Young that much and were hoping to get him at 2. And I don't think they like CJ Stroud enough to take him at 2. Is what I'm hearing. And honestly, like, I don't know if I like CJ Stroud enough. I think you need a quarterback bad. I don't know. I've been so back and forth on these quarterbacks all year long, Nick. So it's like, you already know how I am about it. I don't know what the fuck decision to make. But I have seen a lot of reports of, I think I saw something today. They were saying that there could only be one quarterback taken in the top 4 picks. When a few weeks ago it was, we're going to see 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 4 picks. So I don't know. What do we want to do in this mock for the Texans? Okay. I like that. Lay it on me. I swear to God, if it's Josh Allen, I'm going to lose my shit. It, is it Trevor Lawrence? Oh. Oh, okay, okay, okay. It, is it Joe Burrow? I don't I don't think that's a shock. I mean, he was top 3, top 2. Yeah, true. Where's Mahomes on that list? Oh, they're tied? Okay. I don't mind that. Okay. Okay. You know what's funny, Nick? I was filming uh, an episode with Tyler yesterday, and we talked about the 2020 draft class a bit. There's there's what, 5 guys, 5 quarterbacks that got taken in that draft class, right? You had Burrow, you had Hurts, Tua, Herbert, and Jordan Love, right? 4 of those 5 guys, I could potentially seeing them win an MVP, which is crazy because that draft class was fucking stacked when it comes to quarterback. I feel like, and I feel like that draft class is gonna carry the NFL for the next 8 to 10 years. I feel like, you know what I mean. I think there's some really good quarterbacks in there, and I like the fact that they have like Herbert and Tua and all those guys that high on that list. Is it not on the website we always use? Well, I know they always take them down and put them back up, and yeah, yeah. Here we go. Number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young minus 470, CJ at plus 410, Richardson plus 1700, Will Levis plus 4000, and then for this one I have has top 5. The favorite. Yeah. Will Anderson. CJ, yeah. That's what I've been hearing. Honestly, Nick, it's going to be one of the. If Bryce Young's off the board, it's going to be one of those two. I really think. It just depends on if they like. If they don't like CJ enough, they're going to go Will. Or if they like Will so much, they're going to go Will over CJ. You know what I mean? Like. Who, Will? Alright, shit's going to get weird in this mock. Alright. No, yeah. We did. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans took Will Anderson. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I think it's a high possibility at this point. Do we think they trade out, Nick? Like, I feel like that's not a bad assumption, right? Like, they need a lot because, something we didn't touch on real quick. Buda Baker requested a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. So, there's that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's saying teams interested are Falcons, Bears, Texans, Patriots, Commanders. Falcons are willing to give. Oh, I think I select the picks. There's no like offers. Oh, it's because I own all the teams essentially, so you know what I mean? I would have to offer them something. There wouldn't be no pain. Yeah, I can select a pick. I can do whatever. Whoops. Okay. Oh, see at the bottom it says this trade will likely be accepted. It was lopsided. %89 chance to be accepted. %65 chance. Do we want to say the Falcons would trade up, or do we want to select a different team? I think here's my thought process. If, let's say in this mock, the Texans take Will Anderson, a lot of teams could think, holy shit, I didn't expect CJ to make it to 3. I feel like we can't count out, like, the Raiders. We can't count out the Titans. The Jets, maybe. I feel like the Raiders. Who? Okay. And who else? Curtis Samuel? He might be. Okay. Yeah. Does Washington finally make a move? I like it. Bro, it literally kept saying it was going to be accepted. Like, I didn't get it. Try this. The first, second, third, and then a first, second next year, and the second that year after. God damn. They're giving up the house for this kid. They do, yeah. We saw the Lance trade. There was, what, 3 first rounds? Something like that, yeah. Uh-huh. I feel like this year's first, second, third and next year's first and second for 3. So 2 first rounds, 2 seconds, and a third. No third. 2 seconds, 2 first. Like that? Yeah. I like that. Oh, 3 for that trade will not be accepted. Three first and 2 seconds? What if we say 3 first and a second? I hear you. Yeah. I don't know if it's just that's a lot of fucking picks. So 2 firsts, and then they traded. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So like this, 3 first, 2 seconds, fuck it. 3 first, 2 seconds. Take out the second this year and give him what? The 2025? I already had that one selected. I did. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And you said, no, I think it's going to be more seconds. I hear you. Can we not even trade in the fucking... Oh my god, dude. We just spent all this time and we can't even make a fucking trade because you gotta buy some fucking better version. This is so dog shit. World always trying to get our fucking money, man. What website are you on? Oh, this website's cool. You could go back and redraft old classes. What the fuck? where even is the trade thing? Oh, there it is. Is it on this website? NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator? What do we say? Washington? Wait, what? There we go. Arizona. And then, oh, you can't even do 2025 picks? That's so fucked. So what are we doing? No. Which one were you using? So like that. Trade was declined. I guess it doesn't matter, Nick, because we're only doing the first round, so we could literally just say whatever it was, but just exchange the picks, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? No. That's what I'm saying. So we'll just have to Arizona with Washington next. So we'll just say the 3, the 16, and then we'll give them a first and a bunch of other fucking picks next year because it doesn't matter. Yeah. Fuck it. Still declined? What? Thank you. Stupid bitch. Okay. CJ Stroud, right? Okay. All right. And then 4. Do we think they go Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, right? They've got to go one of those guys. I would prefer Anthony over Will. I don't like either of them. All right, we'll go Will. I think either one, they're going to pick either one, so it doesn't matter too much. 5. I don't think they take a quarterback here, dude. I think so. Do we think they go Jalen Carter, or do we think he slips more? All right. Okay, so just feel like Tyree Wilson's the best pick. Like, it's hard not to take that one again. I don't know a whole lot about him. All right, we'll go Miles Murphy. 6, Detroit Lions. Cornerback, safety, linebacker, tight end, quarterback. They did just traded away a cornerback. They could go Christian Gonzalez here. Okay. All right, 7. I think Anthony Richardson goes here, even if he's still available, which in this mock he is. All right, 8. Yeah. What do the Falcons need? They need offensive guard, offensive tackle, edge, DT, cornerback. Paris Johnson here. So we're saying, yeah. And they have AJ Terrell. So we're okay. Paris Johnson. Okay. So the Bears. I feel like they take Carter or Wilson, one of the two here. Because they need one of those bona fide guys on defense, right? Like, could you imagine if the Bears traded out of 1 and still got the guy they were probably going to draft at 1? Or one of the guys? I mean, they could. What do they need? It says offensive tackle, wide receiver, edge, offensive guard, and DT. I feel like there's no wrong pick here. I think we said this last time we drafted for them. They could go JSN. Pair them up with Fields. They played together. Fuck it. Philadelphia Eagles. Do they go Bijan? Yeah, right. Do they go Bijan here? Okay. Could you imagine Jalen Carter going to the Eagles? Jesus Christ. Yeah, they do. Next, Titans at 11. I feel like Tyree Wilson's a good pick here. Or tackle. Yeah, I think so too. I think if Tyree Wilson somehow makes it to 11, the Titans will definitely take him. Texans again here at 12. We took them taking Will Anderson. Yes. Let's see. Quarterback, edge, wide receiver, offensive guard, offensive. What does it say? Center? Why does it say OC? That's fucking weird. Here's the thing. There's not. They need a wide receiver bad. But they still have 2 first-round picks next year, right? Could they double up next year and do what everybody thought they were going to do this year and go quarterback, wide receiver next year? I feel like that's a high possibility. And they could just build the team this year. Where's he at? Oh, he's 23. You already got Derek Stingley, too. You could have a nasty trio. My only thing is I know Devin Witherspoon, they have him, like, higher than Keely Ringo. They have him. All right. I like it. All right. 13. Oh, yeah. And you signed Jimmy Ward, who has experience with... He has experience with D'Amico Ryans as well, so... Top 2 picks in the NFL draft are expected to be Panthers, Bryce Young, Texans, Will Anderson. 2 Alabama players, 1 and 2. Jets. Okay, let's hear it. 13. Oh. Okay. fucking Jets at? So, the Packers give up 15? Or, no, you said the Jets give up 13. I can't even select Aaron Rodgers. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, quarterback for 13. Okay. All right. I like it. Oh, baby, it was. Let's go. No, 100%. All right, so team needs. What do the Packers need? They need a wide receiver, tight end, edge, OT, and a quarterback. No, no, no. They're not going Bijan when they have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And then Bijan and AJ Dillon? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I like where your head's at, but like I don't know. Yeah, they need wide. Do they go Jordan Addison? Get Jordan Love with Jordan? Jordan to Jordan for a touchdown. Okay. 14. I feel like this team needs everything too. Patriots, what do they need? Wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker, edge, DT. Brian Breesy? D tackle out of Clemson? Or offensive line help for Mac Jones? Alright. Packers on the board again. They need wide receiver, tight end, edge, offensive tackle, and quarterback. So we could say Broderick Jones or Peter Skoronski, or we could say the Lucas Van Ness. Okay. I don't. Yeah. David Bakhtiari. All right. Yeah. No, I agree. I like it. Alrighty. So, next we have Arizona Cardinals on the board again, who they kind of need everything. Oh shit, what just happened? There we go. Says they need cornerback, edge, DT, running back. I'm not giving them Bijan, dude. I'm just not. Fuck. Let's say in this scenario, they trade away Buda Baker. Do they draft this Brian Branch guy to replace him? Okay. I mean, they need everything, dude. Like, Peter Skoronski, get some blocking for Kyler, because Lord knows they need that. I like it. Fuck it. Steelers on the clock. They need O-line as well. But we also have said before we can get Joey Porter Jr. for the Steelers. Which I feel like is a very high possibility he ends up there because his dad played there. Yeah, no, that's the only thing. What do they need? It says wide receiver, center, tackle, edge, and cornerback. Oh, fuck, what's his name? John Michael Schmitz. All right. Yeah, no, I agree. All right, 8. We got the Lions back on the board. They have already taken Christian Gonzalez, cornerback. Their team needs, again, their cornerback, safety, linebacker, tight end. I think so, too. Okay, so we could say Brian Branch, safety, or Lucas Van Ness, edge. Okay. Pair him up with that Houston guy and Aiden Hutchinson. I like it. Next, we got the Bucks on the board at 19. Bucks are kind of in a bad situation, I feel like. Quarterback, edge, cornerback, guard, running back. Yeah. Baker. I feel like they take Joey Porter here, kind of. Or... Oh, yeah, that's right. Who did it? Is there linebackers here? Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell. Are they considering him an edge? Yeah, they are. Yeah. I like that. Do we want to say Nolan Smith? All right. So 20, Seahawks. There's a lot of teams this year, Nick. It seems like have double picks. A good amount. Yeah. All right. So we got number 20, the Seattle Seahawks. They've got... I feel like their offense is pretty set, right? Like, maybe O-line, yeah. Do we like any of these O-linemen available, though? That's the question. I don't really know a lot of these guys, to be honest. Like, the ones I know have already been taken. Or do they go Hendon Hooker at 20, Nick? Hear me out. I kind of like that. All right. Hendon Hooker off the board in the first round. Might happen, might not happen. I don't know. Chargers. I've heard talks of the Chargers trying to go after a wide receiver. I don't think that makes sense. I'm thinking they trade Eckler away and get Bijan. Yeah. I think you might be able to. Do we want to trade him? Well, let's see. We'll go Chargers, and then we'll just pick a random team. Oh, whoops. I didn't even pick the Chargers. I'm a fucking idiot. Austin Eckler, you can. What are you trying to think? We trade them back in the first? Eckler wouldn't even be worth a first, would he? Yeah, so I don't even think it'd be worth. Oh, yeah, okay. I like the Bengals, man. I think he's gonna get released because of all this shit he's got going on with the law or whatever, and he's a big cap hit. Like, I've seen reports of him potentially getting released. Granted, it's kind of died down. But, okay, where else could we trade him, though? Like, if we think about it. Panthers, no. Texans, no. Commanders, probably not. Colts, no. Seattle, no. Lions, no. Maybe Falcons. Bears, yeah, probably not. Eagles, no. I mean, maybe Eagles, but they got Rashad Penny now. I don't know if they're kind of rolling with him as the one. Ravens? It's either Ravens, Bengals, maybe Bills. The Ravens? What are we trading them for? A second? We'll go third. You're a bitch. Problem is, they don't tell you what you should have given. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. Yeah. There we go. Whatever. That's not real. We're not actually trading him for that, but we just have to make it go through. All right, so Ravens just picked up a running back. They're back on the board. They didn't pick yet. Wide receiver? Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews. Yeah. It's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, do we give him a big body wide receiver? Do we give him a super fast Jalen Hyatt? Yep, I was about to say that. Speed demon. Yep. You got slant boy, you got fucking speed demon, and you got fucking tight end, and running back that can catch everything. That offense is nasty, Nick. Holy shit. Oh fuck. And you still got Rashad Bateman who can open up the field too. Yeah, I do like that. All right, Vikings. So, okay. Cornerback, wide receiver, safety, linebacker, running back. Do they go cornerback or safety here? Or edge rusher? Ringo? Okay. Jags need cornerback, safety, tight end, guard, and D tackle. I like it. I do like that. Yeah. Giants. What do the Giants need? Cornerback, running back, guard, safety, linebacker. We go another cornerback? Yeah. Cowboys. What do the Cowboys need, dude? D tackle, guard, wide receiver, linebacker, running back. Yeah. I know we did this before, Nick. I think we did a different guy. But do we say a tight end for the Cowboys? I know we drafted a tight end for him in the last one. I think the last one we had Michael Mayer going early to the Lions. And then we had Dalton going to the Cowboys. So we'll go Michael Mayer to the Cowboys. Bills. Yeah. Bills, it says they need guard, cornerback, linebacker, safety, wide receiver. Darnell Wright is the first one from Tennessee. Or you got Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. I mean, those are three good schools. Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ohio State. So I feel like either pick would work, right? All right, I like it. All right, Bengals. Bengals lost some safeties. I like it. It didn't say they needed a safety, but I think they do. Saints. I was going to say that. Yeah. I like that. Eagles. Eagles back on the board. Hear me out. Jahmyr Gibbs. Running back. Or. That's valid. That is actually valid. They don't need wide receivers. They don't need a tight end. They don't need running back. It's got it. Defense, right? Yeah. What's it say they need? Cornerback, edge, safety, D tackle, linebacker. I like it. All right, 31, Chiefs. Tackle, I was going to say wide receiver. Yeah, we got Zay Flowers. A lot of people are saying he could be the number one wide receiver off the board, but I feel like Zay Flowers at 31. There we go. I like it. Interesting little couple trades in there. Made it interesting. Might not be exactly how it works out, of course, but I like it. Something a little different. All right. It showed one of them. Oh, okay. If I go to select the team, it shows Cardinals got all these picks, yeah, and then it shows them got Austin Eckler. I can't even. How do I go to the next team? Hello? It only shows some teams, I guess. Whatever. Nope. Yep. All right, so they got all those picks from the Bears. I think you're behind. Let's see. Where did all these or is that just all their picks in general? Oh, that's probably their picks in general. All right. Washington's got no more picks because we traded them all away. All right, Colts. There's that. They got Will Levis, Miles Murphy, Hendon Hooker. It's not a bad draft for the Seahawks, I feel like. Christian Gonzalez and Luca Van Ness for the Lions. Anthony Richardson for the Raiders. Paris Johnson for the Falcons. JSN for the Bears. You also got Jalen Carter and Isaiah Foskey for the Eagles. Titans got Tyree Wilson. Devin Witherspoon for the Texans. We had a trade here. We traded... Packers got Jordan Addison at 13 and then traded away Aaron Rodgers for Austin Eckler. Or, no, not Austin Eckler. For the pick. I'm tripping, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Patriots got Brian Breesy. Packers got Broderick Jones. Peter Skoronski at pick 16 for the Cardinals and the picks from Washington. John Michael Schmitz to the Steelers. Talked about Luka. Nolan Smith to the Bucks. Talked about Hendon Hooker. Chargers got Bijan Robinson and traded away Austin Eckler to the Ravens, who then got Jalen Hyatt. Keely Ringo to the Vikings. Joey Porter to the Jags. Cam Smith to the Giants. Michael Mayer to the Cowboys. Darnell Wright to the Bills. Brian Branch to the Bengals. Quentin Johnston to the Saints. Isaiah Foskey to the Eagles. And Zay Flowers to the Chiefs. Beautiful. I like it. I like it a lot. I wish they gave you like a grade on it. That'd be sick, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I like it. All right. So that's going to wrap up episode 5. I'm sure. Yeah, 100%. So, like I said, we got 10 days to the draft. The draft is going to be not this Thursday, but the next Thursday. So, we'll do another podcast on Monday. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I'm sure it'll revolve around something with the draft, just because it's the week of the draft, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all we got. We appreciate y'all hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you liked our mock draft, whatever, you know what I mean? Let us know your thoughts on the Jalen Hurts contract. And yeah, you got anything, Nick? Oh yeah, I can't wait. Oh, all right. Well, we'll catch y'all later. See you on the next one. Peace.